up, Lewis?
Hey,
I didn't even know you were there.
I've been here for the last I don't know 15 minutes.
How long were you waiting? 15
Uh,
minutes?
about 30.
30 minutes?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you were there. I was just
Hey,
gallivanting
no.
and I forgot my headset, so I had to like use a different headset right now. So it's kind of odd. But what is up, man? How's everything with you?
Um, puppy,
Oh yeah, you have a puppy. How's the why does the puppy look weird?
because it's the type that you feed other dogs.
It's the
So
it's the food for other puppies.
this is what you feed bigger puppies.
You told me about the puppy last night, but it never told me like the name
Oh,
of the puppy.
I think it's Sari. So it's
Oh,
Sari. Like I hate my family
for the name.
because no, just because of the breed of the dog, I do not like. She's pretty nice. She
Yeah,
doesn't scream. Only when she's alone
yeah,
does the inner chihuahua come out.
yeah. So
But then
Nate,
this is the only one that I hated the name, so there's no winning.
yeah, Nate says hi, and then he goes,
Hey
"I
Nate,
gotta go. I gotta go get something to eat."
you
It's so
didn't have to tell
stupid.
us, Nate. You could have just
I
gone and get something to eat.
know.
Are you an adamant participant in these conversations?
So uh there might have been a little bit of a discrepancy in terms of like our consistency of doing these shows. You guys pretty much saw that a couple of weeks ago. It said that yeah, I gave you guys the news that my dad was in the hospital because he had COVID and whatnot. He was in the ICU. And then all of a sudden, we disappeared again for another 2 weeks. And that's basically how things change. That's how fast things change when you have COVID. Because my dad is no longer in the ICU. He actually passed away. He passed away about 2 weeks ago. Um, you know, COVID wise. That's what ended up happening. So a lot of things happened. So I had to do a lot of planning since he's in Canada. It's a little bit difficult to plan a few things, his funeral and all that stuff. So I had to do things remotely. I had to make sure my mom is okay too as well, and then break the news to our family members and all that stuff. So um, it's a little different when you're the eldest son. When you're the eldest son, you pretty much take over everything, right? So um, but yeah, that's what ended up happening. So now I had my paperwork done and whatnot. Um, and then Canada is still a little bit the border is still closed in Canada, so you gotta have to like go through the bureaucracy of paperwork in order to actually go to Canada without doing quarantine. So um so I had to do that. But that's what happens. But everything should be okay again. So I had to take some time off in there for myself and whatnot. So and Lewis gave me shit for it. Um,
You know they'll believe this, right?
um,
They'll actually imagine me saying, "How dare your father be such an inconsiderate asshole?" They'll now that I've said it, they'll just loop it. And
it's
if they clip this, they're just gonna change my your
yeah.
dad's an inconsiderate asshole for dying. Well, my dad died.
Well, when that died though, but um, so oh, Lock's in there. Hey, what's up, Locked? So essentially, we're pretty much back now again, so we should be okay. There might be a time too as well. I might be broadcasting through. We're doing live in Canada too as well, so you guys get to see my childhood home. Just a brief thing too as well. My mom sleeps in the on the couch now. She doesn't want to sleep in their bedroom since my father passed away. So she said
That's
that
fair.
yeah. So she said that if you're when you come by, you're gonna sleep in our bedroom because I don't use that anymore anyways. So I said to her, I'm not gonna do that. She's like, why not? I'm like, well, dad used to scare me when I was a kid and still does till this day. He still tends to scare me. And I told her, now that he passed away, he's been waiting for this his whole life. This is going to be his ultimate scare. So
He's gonna have animatronics on his spine to jump up at you the moment that you are having a moment of a beautiful speech. You
he's
touch his
gonna
shoulder, and that was the trigger.
he's gonna jump up out of nowhere and just be like, "Wow, motherfucker!" So this is his time to be like the ultimate scare. But yeah, so there might be like in the next 2 weeks or so, I might be broadcasting from Canada. That's why. But um, today we're gonna talk about a couple of things. One, we talked about Lewis's puppy. So he has a puppy. We has a weird name. What was the name again?
Sari. No, I
Okay.
wasn't talking to you.
Okay, that one. And I don't know why he bought a puppy
Get
that
it?
eats other that's food for other puppies.
That's literally prey for other puppies. I mean, like
uh,
a teenage hawk can take this and then just eat.
can they?
I've seen grown adult like bald eagles just take pit bulls.
You cannot. You literally cannot let that dog out of your sight in
I mean,
Miami. You know
it's
that,
a
right?
rat. Yeah, no. I've like every Chihuahua in my family has died horrible ways. One
Yeah.
has died from a jacuzzi. One escaped and got ran over by like the world's biggest truck.
Uh
And then another one, I don't know. I think they killed it themselves.
So you got a puppy and be like, why not carry on the tradition?
And then why not carry on the tradition? My sister is like, my sister loves big dogs. I would have never expected her to
uh
get Chihuahua. It makes no fucking sense.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
expected she bringing a husky, and I can give that thing all my love and attention.
so let's talk about what happened at Nowhere too as well, your store. So what did you guys have?
Sean Schemmel, the voice actor for Goku,
John
was
Schemmel.
at. I would have definitely advertised it last week, but
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. So essentially you had Goku stop by the store today. So how many people came?
If I were to put a rough estimate, about 151 people.
There's a shitload of people that I
There's a
saw.
shitload of people, but Chris Sabat though,
Uh-huh.
I don't even know.
When did you guys have Chris Sabbath and him in the same time?
Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel in the same room would be so hard because of scheduling.
I see. You should have made it work.
Like actually no, because I didn't count Saturday's events.
Yeah. Did you guys?
So about 170 to 180 people in general just showed up.
Okay. Did you get anything signed?
No, I had nothing.
You Dragon Ball, you have nothing.
I have nothing. I've at some point in my life, I just got rid of all my like pops and collectibles because it was just becoming too much room.
Yeah.
And for Dragon Ball, all I have are games, and I don't.
You should have gotten that.
I don't really want him to sign any of my games because I still use them.
I would have had him sign it. So
no, I still use them. Well, that's you
so
fucking lemon.
So today we were gonna talk about Bad Idea Comics, but something popped up on
just recently. Now you're gonna make me look bad for another topic. I have no idea what's going on.
No. You don't have to look it up. You don't have to. You don't have to like look it up and whatnot. Something popped up on Instagram today, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I thought it was a joke. So Xbox,
I found that in this last 2 years, 3 things that everybody thought was a joke in different categories in video game and trading cards, all real.
So this is actually what just popped up on Instagram and whatnot.
Do you mean the fridge?
The fridge.
Yeah, it's real. They gave one away for free.
Dude, I thought it was I thought it wasn't real because today, if you guys don't know, today is E3. Today this week is E3. So they announced a couple of games. So they announced Battlefield 2040.
Yeah, I honestly thought it'd be ridiculous that they literally designed an entire fridge.
Yeah,
and only give it to one person and not make that a real.
They're gonna mass produce it by a holiday. They said it's gonna come out by a holiday.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Xbox has a fridge. They have a fridge that's a mini fridge that you can have.
Do you really not remember the giveaway?
No. I didn't see it. I didn't see.
Oh,
I
you
was
didn't
busy.
see the
No,
giveaway,
I
dude?
didn't.
This
No,
is
I didn't
real,
see it.
real.
So they gave away the Xbox Mini Fridge, which is actually pretty cool. So now I'm up for another Xbox. So I'm probably gonna think
Just
about this. I
just
don't
get the
know.
fridge. No,
I'm probably gonna think about.
just fuck the Xbox. Just get the fridge.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I'm seriously thinking about it. I don't know why, but I'm seriously thinking about getting the mini fridge
It's a great looking fridge, ironically.
because I need a new Xbox anyway. So my Xbox is not old, but it's just that I'm
It doesn't
about.
play the new hotness.
It's not the new hotness, man. Exactly. It's not. It's not the new hotness. I
Funny thing,
need.
you could say that. I went to go get a pre-order
Yeah.
for PlayStation 5. I got it.
Uh
Then I
huh.
realized I'm not gonna really be playing the
Yeah.
PlayStation 5 for another like 6 months. So
Yeah.
I just gave my pre-order to Tony.
Yeah. I mean, everybody thought it was a joke, and then they're
The
like,
fridge? No, no, the
"It
fridge was
was. It was."
real.
I mean, just. I mean, I'm
So
thinking
many
about.
people entered that competition for that fridge.
I mean, I'm thinking about it because I'm up for a new Xbox.
Just get the fridge. You know you
Because
want it.
because remember, my Xbox is still Project Scorpio.
Yeah.
So but still Project Scorpion, like when it first came out. So I'm about a year and a half or 2 years removed already. So I'm up for like a new Xbox. So I'm seriously thinking about it. Um,
Until I'm guessing about 6 months after Ratchet, the
mhm,
new Ratchet and Clank game is just old,
yeah,
and there's a new RPG coming. I'll probably buy a
yeah,
PlayStation 5, or at
and
least
plus,
adamantly hunt one.
yeah, and plus, what's going on too as well is that a lot of games are being produced on the newer generation now, right? So I might as well, because by like summer next year, it's gonna be obsolete. That's all I'm saying.
Or you get all three, like Tarek, or Lockdown.
Yeah, yeah. He said I'll buy one and manage to get an Xbox Series version as I'll definitely at the fridge. So this man's balling right now, man. If you
This
have
man is a man of culture.
if you have money, give me some money, man.
Or if you have
I could
money,
use
just buy
money.
yourself the fridge because it's gonna be way more expensive than both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox combined.
I could
That's
use
like
some
a
money,
$2,000 investment.
right? So today we're gonna talk about for the first 30, 45 minutes of the show. We're going to talk about essentially what you can see there about Bad Idea Comics. So, Bad Idea Comics was produced. Wow, it's not even a year. They came
Possible
out.
to actually.
Yeah. So they are out of commission now. They said they were out of commission, but we're going to talk about a little bit of inside information that I found and some rumors that's actually going around about Bad Idea Comics. And then on our podcast, on our Spotify, we're going to talk about how Marvel is going to think about moving to Lunar. So if you guys have been a frequent listener of our podcast, you know that Lewis somewhat predicted this, or he hoped that they would move to Lunar
Man, you keep
Comics.
saying I predict things and I don't remember shit.
I'm gonna remind you. So tune into our podcast tomorrow on Monday. But today we're gonna talk about Bad Idea Comics. So if you guys don't know what Bad Idea Comics is, Bad Idea Comics, as you can see there, begins. It began back in early this year, around January. It was somewhat announced, but this company has been in the works for the last year and a half or so, right? So they have a lot of creative team in there too as well. Most nobly is basically Matt Kindle right here. Matt
Matt
Kindle's based
Kindle.
yeah. So Matt Kindle Kind. So I apologize if I mispronounced that.
No, we're
Um
calling you Kendall from now on.
I know Matt Kint. So if you guys somewhat have heard of Matt Kint, Matt Kint is basically the one of the architects for Berserker. He was co-writer of Keanu Reeves. Bad Idea Comics was announced on the heels of Berserker #1, and it was massive. It was a massive hit. I mean, no one have seen numbers like Berserker since Spawn #1, right? So the the advertising and promotion of Bad Idea actually rode the popularity Berserker 2 as well. So I mean, like, hey, why would you not get something by Matt Kint when he
And
just
by the
wrote
way,
Berserker, right?
shops don't even see like a lot of the profitability that you're seeing this. It's only ever
Yeah,
the secondhand market.
yeah,
And they have so many restrictive caveats
yeah.
into
So
getting their book
yeah,
that they almost 100% guarantee you our books are worth a lot because comic books don't sell it for a lot.
yeah. So we're gonna talk about
So it's just a weird system.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about what happened to Bad Idea, and what are the somewhat latest rumors that's been going around with Bad Idea. So we're just gonna take you back a little bit and just talk about what Bad Idea was. Okay, so again, Bad Idea started with Matt Kint and whatnot, but it was in production for a long time and all that stuff. Essentially, what ended up happening is this: they had a good formula. Their formula was essentially. Limit the amount of books that's being ordered too much, so that you don't order too much, so retailers don't order too much, you only order what you need, and then only put some rules on them saying that you can only have one book per customer, right? So essentially that made
And if you order, your next order of the next book cannot be lower
yeah,
than the last one. So if you have ordered 300 of them,
yeah,
issue 2 you have to order 300,
which is fine because
which
that's
is
just
fine. It
yeah,
controls kind of like the massive amounts of beginning purchasing, but it makes purchasing for later on really weird because
yeah.
the second market is super finicky.
Yeah. So essentially, what ended up happening is that they didn't want you to order too much, and they don't want you to order too little. So what ended up happening is that they limited customers to just one book. If you were to go to the retailers that signed up to them, they are basically taking the books directly to retailers, directly to your customers, and they go for about how much do they go for? About like $5-7 around there, around there, depending on the book itself. The stories are intriguing and whatnot, but because of the limited amount that can be sold per person, the the third party retailers or sellers on eBay are hiking up the price, because essentially, if the shop only orders say 25 copies, it's not going to be a lot in there, right? I do not know any shop that ordered more than 100 copies, or more than 25 copies of anything Bad Idea. Maybe there was, I'm not quite sure, maybe there was, but essentially not much. I mean, like, nowhere toys. How many did you guys ordered?
0. We can't get in there.
You guys didn't order anything at all?
We can't. So the way that this works, you sign up like you would do with any other distributor, and you agree to like the restrictions, and you have to continuously send them emails. Hey, are we cool to like buy books now? And you never get a response. So the reason why, and we'll talk about this later, that why certain things are happening to them now
Mhm.
is because of the extreme and excessive lack of accessibility
Yeah,
to acceptance for shops to
yeah.
get their books.
So essentially, what ended up happening is that,
They're technically getting away in the way of their own success.
yeah, so they're kind of getting away of their own success too as
They're
well.
getting
So
in the way.
yeah, in the way. So essentially, they had a perfect formula too as well. I mean, like, and not perfect formula, but they had a good formula, because Zenescope as well as Aspen Comics does something very similar, right? Shops only order what they need and whatnot, but they don't overprice it, right? But for some reason, this got overpriced. As you can tell in here, the third market availability of it is just insane. $80 for the first one that came out, the first one out of the series, the Enatic. Sorry, I can't talk today.
ENIAC.
Yeah, ENIAC or ENIAC.
Also, the first prints have this really giant
Yeah,
first print gold stamp on it.
yeah,
So even though it's not second print,
yeah.
the first out of the gate stuff had a first print gold stamp.
Yeah, so it's insanely expensive in on an eBay markets, right? So what ended up happening is that that market started to blow up, people started to sell it for $80. You guys saw $80, $30, $19, and whatnot. And shops essentially are not ordering enough because they wanted to get in on this whole bad idea train too as well, right? So what they wanted to do, so most shops, and they're actually breaking some rules. They were not supposed to overprice it. Some shops are overpricing them because they want to actually get money. That's
And those people immediately get caught because they get reported by customers.
Yeah, they get
and immediately get banned.
Yeah, and the ones who report them are the exact same third-party people, basically trying to sell them for a lot more, right?
And sometimes I wouldn't be shocked if they're overpricing it. Like, no, that's called taxes.
Yeah, so the specs market started to overprice their books now too as well, because the mentality is there's not that much in the shops. They don't sell it for in bundles. Some shops are being reported, so not much shops are carrying them anymore. So basically,
I mean, if they just accepted nowhere, honestly, what they asked me to do, it's such a weird gray little thing that it was like, okay, you're almost barely unreasonable, but I can work with it.
What do they ask you?
Oh, it's really crazy. Like the comics must be only sold one per person. You cannot sell more than the cover price. And like I told you, the caveat, like your seconds from 2 and onward cannot be lower than the amount of the number 1 that you bought.
Yeah,
they must be placed adamantly in your store, like right in front of your face. Like when you open the door, our book should be right there. I'm like, Berserker doesn't even get that treatment. Okay,
it's like as soon as you open the door, there's like a freaking spring. That just comes
it's supposed to be adamantly displayed. So you would guess, like, open the door, the first thing you see is that book. And I'm like, okay, Diva Queen.
Yeah.
Even our bestseller does not get that fucking treatment. It gets
Berserker doesn't even get that treatment, man.
It gets put in where all the other books are.
Yeah.
And you want to come in here like fucking your J-Lo. and you're not. You're just, what are you?
Okay, one. Why does J-Lo demand like attention right away?
It's like she just like kicks in the door and it's like, look at me. I'm like, you didn't have to ask twice. But yeah, dude, like
they
were borderline unreasonable.
When we had Steve Aoki at the store, we never had his book like right in front of the store.
Yeah, no. They were like where all the new books were, and everybody knew exactly where all the new books were. But no, they wanted like borderline special treatment. And even when you say, Tim, yes to all this shit, they still doesn't mean that they'll accept you.
So you have to be like some sort of like part of Illuminati just to be like.
I mean, you would have to have been like early enough. Which, by the way, they were almost like a hidden secret. Do you know how hard it was for me to find Bad Ideas like distribution, because I was looking everywhere, and then later to find out, no, you have to go directly. It's like me go to boomstudios.com and get the books from there. It's like,
hey, Ross Ritchie, what's up, man? Give me some books.
Richie? Hey.
I mean, like,
can we get your books though?
Well, let me put it this way: Ross Ritchie does love you, so it might just happen for you.
It might just work. He might just like give a chuckle. It's like, okay, I have like a box here. How many do you want?
He'll just give it to you. So essentially, their demands is crazy. It's essentially kind of like the episode of The Simpsons, where if you want to be part of the Stonecutter Club, you have to be recommended by another stonecutter in order to get in. It's like, it's insane.
That's already part of the club.
Yeah, so it's pretty insane. So essentially, this is where some of the inside stuff that we're going to tell you what's happened. So I heard from a little birdie. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. Essentially, Bad Idea knows that this is happening, and there is. It's not. I'm not saying that it's out of control, and there's no way for them to actually change the rules right away, but they cannot enforce it anymore. So essentially, people are getting deterred because of all the third parties selling it for like $80, $60 and whatnot, all the specs, and they need to control it somehow. So they devised a plan to actually get people away from it, and that plan was, we're going out of business. That's basically that's what's happening. Okay,
Genius. They're gonna tank all their products.
they're gonna tank everything. Well, they're not gonna tank everything because I'll tell you why they're not gonna tank everything. So this was happening. So they said, we're gonna go out of business. Sorry, guys. So whatever's out there is out there. There's 5 more coming out, and that's about it, right? Basically, the little birdie tells me is that they're doing this solely so that the prices for them actually goes down, so that there isn't that much demand on them at all. So when the price goes down, a lot more people can actually get their hands on these books. Now, what's going to happen is that they are going to be coming back. They are going to be coming back. That's not like not in the books. They will come back. They may come back on a different name. They may come back on the same name. But what they want to do is that they want to control the specs market on this, and they want to actually restructure some of their plan, their marketing plan on how to go about doing this.
Yeah, it's called going through any rational distribution channel.
Yeah, because essentially what they're doing is that they're doing the Superman, the death of Superman in here. Remember when the death of Superman came out and people
Like
bought all
of
it was all mass produced,
like it
right?
was like weight in gold
Yeah,
for like
and
a day.
It was like it was going for so much money in the
And
secondary
then 2
market.
issues afterwards, Superman's alive.
Yeah, and then when he's alive, all of a sudden, all those deaths went gone, right?
Well,
So
you could have gotten lucky and gotten a signature one,
yeah. So
and
essentially,
then you would have been fine.
yeah, you would have been fine. Now they're trying to do a Superman approach in this and see if that works, just so the specs market actually just don't mind them anymore, and they are really trying to get these books into the customer's hands. They really have great intentions of actually providing stories and illustration to the hands of people. They really want people to buy this, but the specs market is literally flooding it so much that people and comic book shops are turning away from it. Like you just mentioned, you don't even know how to get in.
You know, well,
Right?
it's not like you don't know how to get in. It's hard to figure out how to get in. And
Yeah.
then when you do ask to get in,
Yeah.
it's a process of just
Yeah.
like waiting forever. And even if you get a response, you gotta ask again multiple
Yeah.
times. It's like getting like, you might not get this term at all, because it's kind of like if you're trying to get tournament support for Yu-Gi-Oh, it's
Yeah.
like sending a email to Konami.
Mhm.
They don't never respond back.
Yeah. So so essentially they're trying to just lower down the specs market on this. Okay, this is what little.
But I think this is
Yeah.
they're trying to do a Death of Superman. I think this is gonna be a Hulk
Yeah.
181 where
Yeah.
there's so much money.
Yeah, there might be a Hulk more, but
There's so much money in it that it will never lower.
Here's the funny part. The specs market doesn't even know why they're overcharging. It's just because it wasn't that much. There is no reason why they're overcharging for this. They're just saying, like, if you go in the description, not much available, only limited to this and this and that.
And they are willing, and they stated they are willing to reprint the book again.
Yeah, and they're not. It doesn't even make sense why they're overpricing it. I've spoken with one of the specs that's actually very high up in the scale, like he does specs all the time, and he goes that it might be a movie someday. I mean,
but that if you're doing that, then every #1 should cost at least $80.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it doesn't make any sense because they're not even selling their IPs. Not from what I heard. Maybe they are, maybe they are not. I'm not quite sure. But from what I heard, they're not selling their IPs at all. You know what you should be looking at is AWA. If you want something to be turned into a movie, AWA would be it, because every single property that they have is being shopped. That is the sole reason of Upshot AWA, is to sell it. The first one out of the gate was supposed to be Resistance. Okay, Resistance was supposed to actually one-shot their universe, but you know what's actually gaining some steam right now is Chariot. Chariot is gaining, yeah, the one that Jeff Decal's doing the covers for, Chariot. It was supposed to be
The Chariot, the book.
yeah, the book. Yeah, it was supposed to be Resistance, and then after Resistance, it was supposed to be Archangel 8. That was gonna be their that was gonna be their Iron Man, right? Archangel 8, right? But then what ended up happening was that not much people are batting an eye. I don't know why people are not batting an eye on this. If you want something to be turned into a movie, AW is it. You want something that's going to be turned into a movie. Ross Ritchie already told us on the interview that we did. He has 8 IPs out there right now, right? 8 IPs being shot right now, and I believe majority of them are in Netflix, right?
And if no one wants to buy them, then
Yeah,
or you're not selling.
Yeah. So essentially, he kind of he didn't hint it, but we kind of figured out from the tone of his voice that Once and Future is going to be one of them. That's for sure. Berserker already got sold, right? Berserker was sold already. That's going to be a movie and a mini series, anime series too, as well. And then what's going to happen too as well is that they're also looking at We Only Find Them When They're Dead. So if you want something that's an IP and you want to sell something that's going to be turned into a movie, those are it, right? Those are it. But what Bad Idea has that's not, it's not going to happen. I mean, like, I understand that most specs would like to sell things that are limited. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's only limited to this much and that
literally
much.
That's literally the dream.
But
it's not sustainable for a business model.
No, it's not sustainable for a business model. Now, when we do exclusives, we do exclusives because we know it's going to be a pretty big hit in the retail market. And we also know that it may be getting shopped. The IP might be getting shopped depending on the success of it, right? So that's why I believe I posted, I don't know if you saw, Lewis, we posted that the best comic book series that came out for the Eisner nomination, there was 5 of them. 3 of the 5 we have exclusives on because we already knew that they were going to be pretty big, right? We don't do specs. We have, I know somebody inside. Okay, just
even then, like it's hard to just spec. You just gotta. At some point, it's a gut instinct.
Yeah, some of them it's gut instinct. Some of our specs. I mean, like,
you feel that this in the end of the day is you have to ask yourself,
like,
would you read this and would your friend read this? And if both check yes, it's gonna be something.
Yeah, just to let you know that our specs, we don't do specs. We actually get information from someone that we know from the inside, and we held our guns on it through and through. We trust them. One of them is Immortal Hulk. I don't know if you remember, Lewis. We had so much
Immortal Hulk.
We had so much copies.
Still profitable.
Yeah, we had so much copies of Immortal Hulk. I bought like 100 of them for the shop, and nobody got them. And I was made fun of. They're like, "Oh, it's just gonna bring him back." I'm like, "Dude, he has new powers." They're like, "No, it's not gonna do that." Blah, blah, blah. I was like, "All right, man, just hold on to it."
I was reading Immortal Hulk. I was like, "This is nice. This is good."
Yeah. And then after issue 3, no, not 2, issue 3, all of a sudden everybody wanted it.
Everybody and their mom, everybody and their girlfriend outside in their car.
Yeah. Something is killing the children. People are like, "Yo, what is this about?" It's like, well, something is killing the children. You gotta have to read about it, and we knew all about it too. As well.
Killing the children, it still does good to this day.
Yeah. So like, I told that to Norland.
Oh, yeah. The Nice House on the Lake. I actually only got that book.
Yeah.
Because I wanted more variety on the wall.
Yeah.
And it's so well.
So Norland's here, right? Norland was one of them that I told him, you gotta get Something is Killing the Children. He's like, what is it? I'm like, it's Something's Killing the Children. You gotta fucking get it. So for everybody who got the Something's Killing the Children, I told you guys to get it. Good, man. I mean, like, I told you that was gonna blow up too as well. And then it was Naomi. Naomi was the biggest one, Lewis. I know you remember Naomi. We pushed for Naomi for so long.
I think I only pushed you to get the one Justice League cover of her mostly.
Yeah.
And you were like, I don't know, man. It like no, it like I get her main book, but like this cover, and it's like yeah, it's her first fucking actual superhero costume,
Yeah, we
and
like
it's sold
yeah.
so fucking
No,
well,
no,
and
no,
you're
no.
like
When number one came out, Naomi number one. Remember, we were having a hard time trying to get
figuring it
people
out.
Naomi. No, no, to get people to buy it because we said Naomi number one IP was being sold, and Scarlet was the other one too as well. Right?
Scarlet, I still personally don't like.
Yeah, and then the other one with the tattoo. I forgot what the name of that was. The girl with a tattoo in her back with the. Oh man, I forgot what it was. But
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
no. It's
No, that's
another one.
another whole another movie.
It's
Yeah,
another one. It's so essentially we pushed for those books. We said the IPs are being shopped already. People are like, oh, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, Norland came by. Hey Tim, do you have any more Naomi number one?
and you were like, "What?
What? There's like no more, man.
You want
It's
you
like,
want to know who I sold the last ones to?
uh-huh.
Mitchell.
Mitchell?
Yeah, I was like, hey man, this book's gonna be hot. And it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took two on that day. I was trying
Yeah.
to get him to buy him.
Yeah.
And then
So-
and then he came back to like, yo, thanks for
Yeah.
that, bro.
Yeah, it's like we kept telling people it's gonna be hot, and we told them about the new Green Lantern too as well from Far Sector. We're like, yo, there's gonna be a new Green Lantern. Trust me, this is gonna be hot too as well. No, I don't think so. We held on to those books, those number one, until we actually.
I'm still holding on to those books. I only buy one. It doesn't do well after that initial.
She's actually gonna be in the new Green Lantern TV show.
Yeah,
So-
but still, dude, that one's so hard.
Yeah.
Green Lantern right now is so hard
Yeah.
to sell.
So-
After New 52,
Yeah. So essentially, like
Green Lantern does not see good days.
yeah, so when we put on our websites, comicscorepromotions.com, if we put something in there, when we do monthly pre-orders, we don't just put just monthly pre-orders. We know that they're going to be hot books, number ones, and the variant covers. Those are going to be in demand. We already know that's going to be a pretty hot book. The hottest one right now coming out pretty soon is Ordinary. One of them is we have an exclusive on already. You guys already saw. No, not crossover number 7. Ordinary Gods. It's gonna be one, and then the other one is the Me You Love in the Dark by Scotty Young, right? Because Middle West was the IP for Middle West was already sold. I think Netflix got it. I'm not quite
You
sure.
want to know what I think is gonna age well, like currently right now that just
Mhm.
recently got released?
Yeah.
Basilisk.
Yeah,
That
That's
that
it.
one.
Basilic.
I read that
even?
one. Yeah, no, I grabbed like a 5 or 6 issues of it.
Basilic is nice. No, let me put it this way. Basilic is nice because Cullen Bunn knows how to write horror.
Oh,
Right?
dude, it's so good. It's not
So-
horror,
Yeah.
but it's almost horror.
Yeah, like The Devil in Me, that's coming out too as well. 2 months from now, we put that in there because it's Cullen Bunn. We know Cullen Bunn knows. We know because Vanessa did a story with Cullen Bunn. Do you know what it was? It was it was the Empty Man.
It was the Empty Man.
The Empty Man.
I
man.
feel that the Ice Cream Man has aged way better than the Empty Man right now.
Well, Empty Man is different. Ice Cream Man is different because that's an anthology of like horror.
yeah,
Right. So it's
which
different.
is really nice. Like it's once again horror without being horror.
Yeah. So essentially, when we put up something for a monthly pre-orders, we're not saying that these are just like we think it's gonna happen. We know for a fact. I know somebody inside. I'm not gonna tell you who it is. But, like-
I make gut instincts, and they're normally right.
so essentially, we talk about them on our weekly podcast and whatnot on our video cast too as well. But I think Lewis, what we should do is that when I have the monthly pre-orders, I think we should dedicate like a small piece every week for each one and just talk about them.
Like after it's said and done, you cannot get these anymore. Thing
Because most people would
because
do,
that would be more fun than like get them now. Like no,
because you know
it's
what
too
most
late,
people
screw you.
you know what most people would do is that they would wait for the FOC date and then get it.
I think we should, if we're gonna do that, we should do it after the FOC date.
No, I mean, it's 2 months in
Great
advance.
for me, bad for you, and it's fun
no.
for me.
No, I'm saying it's 2 months in advance. You guys are getting 2 months in advance. We're letting you know what's going to be happening. I don't understand why we have
And
this.
if we get it wrong, Tim will refund your money.
So I don't understand
You
how.
have my guarantee. Tim We'll
so
refund your money.
I don't understand how we have all these information for you guys 2 months in advance, but yet you wait for FOC date to see what the hype is, and then
I mean,
I
it
would,
happens all the time. That's
and
why
then
on the before the last day,
yeah,
I have to recheck to make sure that no one's added anything.
yeah. So like,
It's horrible.
I get people asking me, they're like, "Oh, do you still have this?" No, I'm not ordering anymore.
I
That's
no,
like,
it's not like no, you're not ordering anymore. It's like no, I can't order anymore.
yeah.
There's a
So
huge difference there.
the about 2 months ago, the hot book was the nice house on the lake, right?
I didn't advertise that so hard just because once
Yeah,
again, it was supposed to be some nice variety on my wall
yeah.
and it just flew.
No, I advertised the hell out of that.
I did not.
I said this is going to be a really good book, man. You guys should never definitely get it, right?
Yeah, I only
Not
the
much did.
only downside to number one, it was they only kind of left you like almost in a cliffhanger for
Yeah,
what to come later, so it was very short.
right, right. So I'll tell you guys this right now. When we get books from when we do exclusives, what end up happening is that we get to read some of the books too. I mean, like Image does it all the time. Like they send us like the PDF already, but we can't really release it to people, right?
And it doesn't
So
really tell us much of anything either. So
yeah. So Norland said it's Pearl, the girl with the tattoo thing. Yeah, it was Pearl. That's Pearl.
girl,
Yeah. So essentially, where was I? What was I saying? Oh my god. Norland messed me up now. I said Pearl all of a sudden, and then
Pearl,
and then I
the
just
girl
got
with
yeah,
the tattoo.
yeah. So okay, so essentially we get to read the books too as well. I've read Ordinary Gods already, issue 1 and 2, right? And I know for a fact I was excited to do an exclusive on that because it was going to be a great book. It was a great book. Issue 1 and 2, amazing, right? I'll tell you what Ordinary God is about already. The premise of it is very nice. It's so essentially there were these gods that lived long ago, right? They were in all-out war. So think of it kind of like Eternals and the Deviants, right? So there was an
Deviants.
uprising. Yeah, there was an uprising within the other gods, and what they did was they imprisoned the leader or the head gods of the old regime.
Pantheon.
Yeah, but you can't really kill gods. Gods cannot kill gods. They can't be killed. So what they did was they designed a teleporter to imprison them, to a host, like a body, right? And that's basically Earth. So what ended up happening was they've been entangled in this battle for like millennias, because somehow the opposing gods and the old regime actually got transported to Earth, and each time that they get killed in one body, their souls actually transport to another body, to another prison. They can never have their own body at all, right? The only way that they will be killed is that if the opposing gods are actually all killed. If they're all killed, they can't transport to another body and whatnot. So it's just an ongoing thing, right? So it had a really good premise that the human body is actually their prison, right? So is it going to be shopped? Somebody asked me this before. Is it being shopped? Should I stock up on it? No, you shouldn't stock up on it. There's rumors that it's actually going to be shopped around because it is Kyle Higgins, and for the most part, Kyle Higgins is almost like Mark Miller. Some of the stuff that he writes is, he does them for TVs or movies, So I mean, there's a potential on it. There's a rumor that it is being shopped. We don't know who's going to take it right now. From what I'm hearing, Amazon and Netflix are the two companies that they're shopping it to. So, but I wouldn't stock up on it because we don't know. Because remember, when we recommended Naomi, that was back in like what, early 2017, Lewis, around there, I think, or early 2018.
I think it was 2018.
Yeah, when we recommended Naomi.
No, that was
And
17.
2017, yeah. And that was in like post production in Warner Brothers in DC for like 2-3 years. And then all of a sudden they just finished filming and it's about to get released at 2021. So if you're in for a long game, by all means, because what's going to happen is that if Ordinary Gods do get shopped, the earliest that you'll hear in news will be at the end of December, beginning of January. Pre-production won't begin until probably summer and won't be released until 2023 early. I mean, maybe, or end of 2021, 2022. So just get ready for that. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, that's it. Yeah, sleep on it. But that's it for this first half hour of, or 45 minutes of We Got Issues. Tomorrow, in the morning, you will get the podcast version of what we're going to be talking about after this. We're going to be talking about how Lunar may be taking over as the new Diamond, because Marvel is going to, it's going to go. Marvel might be leaving completely Diamond and just go to Lunar and Penguin House. So that's probably what's going to happen. So we're going to break that down to you guys, how that's going to affect you and whatnot. And
we're how that's not going to affect you.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that too as well in our podcast. But yeah, Lewis, do you guys have any events coming up on your shop there? First, let us know where your shop is at.
Like the address?
Sure, if you want to say an address.
It's just because it's so far. So, the Batman Fortnite book, right?
Uh-huh.
The bane of my existence. The reason why I want to quit my job.
Uh-huh.
The main reason that I'm going to play Russian roulette with myself. Fucking hate that book right now. Many people have asked me, hey, can you put me on a wait list so I can get the book? I said, yeah, sure, no problem. Hey, this is Lewis from Nowhere Toys. Would you like to please come by the store and pick up your book? About 4 or 5 of them said, like, oh, no, thank you. I bought them on Amazon. And one of them had the gall right after that, says, but I'm still interested in number 5. Please give me a text. I want to just tell you, go fuck yourself.
Okay, so I'll tell you guys this much.
No, the story doesn't end.
Oh, it's not ending yet. Okay, go ahead. And then what?
So the address of the store is 7312 West 27th Avenue, Hialeah, Florida 33016. That's Nowhere Toys. If you ask me for fucking Fortnite Batman book, I'm fucking kneecapping you.
Ask me for
I love you.
I'm gonna kneecap you. So I only have one advertising too as well. This thing right here. I'm gonna turn down the music. We do have Tyler's exclusive for crossover number 7. Crossover number 7 is actually something very special because it's going to be written by Chip Zdarsky. We don't know why. I can tell you that much. I did not read why, but I have heard that it might be a little bit important. Yeah, so we have our crossover home watch exclusive with Tyler. One is from Spider-Man No More, and the other one is from The Dark Knight Returns. So we have that on pre-order right now, so you can go ahead and pre-order that on our website. What I will tell you is this. We've been getting a lot of orders lately, and I'm trying to do a manual count. And for my count, I think we are running out of 9.8s at this point. I'm not saying that we're running out of copies, but just for precaution, I don't want 9.6s to people looking at 9.8. So what's going to happen is that I'm going to do another final count this tonight and see how many orders that comes in. And then if it's around 300s or 350, I'm going to cap it there and say we're only going to be selling 9.6s. Okay, so as of right now, there's a lot of response. So thank you for everybody who pre-ordered it. You won't be disappointed. Tyler actually did a really good job in this. It was beautiful. He also has the original copy of the cover available too as well. So hit him up in there if you guys are interested in getting the Dark Knight Returns original. So. Other than that,
no, he's not selling it. Sell him on charity. He will never say no.
So, other than that, Lewis, any final words before we start the podcast? No. Okay. So Lewis has no words. But
This
other
is
than
a
that,
puppy. I am
yep.
Lewis. I have to go pee. Goodbye.
Okay, there you go. So Lewis is gonna take his puppy for a walk. So we'll see you guys next week, and then tomorrow the podcast will be up. So I'll see you guys tomorrow, or hear you guys tomorrow.